I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods Volcano Block. Now, today is World Download Day, so be sure to get your World Download. There's going to be a lot of cool things happening in today's episode, so definitely check that out. And if that's something you're interested in that World Download, be sure to nab that thing, of course, if you're a supporter of any tier. Now, let's get on with today's video. Now, of course, in the last couple of episodes, I have been building up infrastructure. That's right. So infrastructure so we can get into just about any mod that we want. However, there's still one thing that we have yet to do, and that is automate Allthemodium, Vibranium, and Unobtainium, which will soon happen. Allthemodium being the first thing, which is going to be the goal of today's episode. But there is a few things that I've still left to do that you guys have mentioned in the comments several times over and over again. And also, we finally have a name for this villager that, well, you guys definitely made known. And that is going to be Greg. Yes, you guys wanted me to name this guy Greg. And so, Greg it is. Anyways, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is going to be upgrading my armor. That's right. This has been something that I know I could have done, but I haven't yet, and we can definitely take this, believe it or not, all the way up to the max tier, even without going to the end. And that is going to be utilizing some of this UU matter. So I'm going to take some of this UU matter that we generated a few episodes ago, and it's been nice and running. It's been generating plenty of UU matter, and I'm going to need this because if I go to upgrade my gear and take it into the next tier, and even taking it even higher and choosing a potential like high tier mage robe, I think what I want to do is I want to figure out what is going to best be like me, like what best suits me as far as this armor goes. And also we need to get to max tier. As you can see, it requires ender pearls, coarse fruit, and then also some blaze rods to get to tier 2. So now upgrading this armor should be pretty straightforward. We can actually just put some blaze rods in here, and I can quickly get this armor upgraded to the next tier by just having these hopper the blaze rods in. And then we can use the 3 to set up the very quick crafting for the next tier as well, which will be the ender pearls and chorus fruit. However, the chorus fruit, I did not show you how we're going to make that. And we're going to use UU matter to make 4 chorus fruit. That is perfect. UU matter has some really cool uses, and that is actually one of the many. And here goes the next tier, which is tier 3. And like I said, this requires chorus fruit and 2 ender pearls. Very easy to do. And is going to improve our armor stats and all of that fun stuff. However, I did figure out, I think the Pyromancer set is what we're going to inevitably go for. However, this does require a mark of mastery, and that requires us to have defeated the Wilden. It also requires this Anima Essence. I think I said that right. Anima Essence, it does appear like that is pretty simple to get. We just need golden apples and wither skulls. We already have all those things. But the Wilden is a little bit different. That I will say, because that is going to require us to defeat sort of a mini boss inside of ours. And I think I want to do that after we've gone to the end. That way we can use the end island as the place to fight this guy. We definitely don't want to fight him in our base, I don't think. We may have protections in our base, but I still don't want to chance it. It can destroy blocks. Now, before we go doing all of the end stuff and go end raiding, which is what I plan on hopefully doing today, we should definitely get this drill set up and get some power going to it and get it mining, and specifically mining for Allthemodium, as it does appear that the chickens can produce everything but Allthemodium, and so that is definitely going to be something I'm going to need to worry about. So now all of my preparation has led up to this moment here with getting into Industrial 4 going and getting into all of these other mods. It has definitely led me to this point. So how do we actually make the laser base, the ore laser base? Well, it does require iron ore, and this has seemed to be sort of a troublesome part to be able to obtain this, as it does appear that regular iron ore is sort of hidden from JEI, meaning that we can't see the recipes for it, making it a little bit confusing as we only see the other ore, and then we also see deep iron ore. And it does appear that even though it does have the other ore, iron ore in here, it is pretty difficult to find the actual iron ore in the other, if it's even possible at all. I don't actually know. From what I've heard is you cannot really find it in the other. So I'm trying to think of a way to get this iron ore. And I think the best way to do it is using UU matter that we generated. But if you do not know any other way, if you haven't made UU matter, you can also use Botania's Orchid as another way to get it. And the Orchid will, I mean, you of course need some mana, and the Orchid will turn stone into iron ore. So how do we actually view iron ore here? Like, it does appear a little bit hard to see. Of course, you can also use the dimensional mine shaft from occultism to get this as well. But I'm going to show you that UU matter has one of the easiest ways to view this, especially now that we have this in the update. So if we grab some more UU matter, right here, and we view the uses on it, if we scroll through here, we're going to see there's a lot of different things, including ore that we can make with it. And iron ore is one of those things. So as you can see right here, we can see everything that makes iron ore. But we can also get iron ore from scrap boxes with a very low percent, a 0.5% chance of getting it. And we're actually producing an abundance of scrap boxes. Like, I mean, a lot of scrap boxes. So our chances of getting iron ore is pretty high. As you can see right there, we just got iron ore. But yeah, you can also craft it with UU matter. You can do it this way. There's a ton of different ways of getting iron ore that we're going to need for this process. Of course, we're going to need 2 of them. So just keep that in mind. So after all of our hard work, we're now able to make ourselves an ore laser base. As you can see, it does require the Allthemodium pickaxe, some iron ore that we're using. It will accept these normal iron ores, and also all of the vibranium that we got from a few episodes ago. So here we have the ore laser base, and now we do need a couple of other things. We need laser drills. Now we can use more than one laser drill, or more than 4 laser drills if we want. These do have sort of a range. If we place one down, we can see that it can be placed upside down, all kinds of different ways. But so long as the actual ore laser base itself is within this bounding box, it will operate. Of course, the only thing that needs power is going to be the laser drills. So pretty darn cool. At least I think it's pretty darn cool. And we need to put this in a very specific biome in order to obtain Allthemodium. Now we're also going to need a very specific lens to help generate more of this. You can see the biome needs to be in a deep dark, and we need ourselves a yellow lens, which needs any lens. It looks like we can dye a white lens. I think the white lens is made this way. Actually, we should be able to just craft the yellow lens in itself. So there we go. This is the appropriate recipe that we're going to need. This one I'll just go ahead and clear and put it back in here. So this is just going to go inside of our dissolution chamber, and we'll put it inside the pattern on the back. And perfect. So now we can just make ourselves a yellow lens real quick. That should get processed up very fast, as you can see. And we now have everything we need in order to get this set up. Now we just got to be pretty careful while stepping into this location. But this biome is technically the deep dark. You can see in the biome section in the left, it is deep dark. So let's try not to summon the warden and try to find this central point, which it does appear to be right here. Doesn't have to be in the center, but I'm placing it here. And yes, we'll just place it in this biome, and then we can place the laser drills. We can butt it up right next to it if we really want to. It's not that big of a deal, just so long as the working area, so long as that laser ore base is within the working area. Pretty darn cool. Now, all of these are going to need power, these on the outside. And then also we can go ahead and put the lens in here. It can hold multiple lenses. However, I don't know if we use the same lenses in here, if it will guarantee a higher drop chance of that ore. I don't know if that's how it works. Oh boy, and now we have company. Now I think without any upgrades, this uses about 100 RF per tick per laser drill, so about 400. But of course, with upgrades, it's going to work a little bit better. So on here, I'm kind of, I want to use a pipe so I can access the machine. And we can just use an item pipe to pipe the ingredients up into a barrel. And I want to just kind of see what this is going to be mining. But eventually we're going to have it hooked to an ender chest, and it's going to, of course, be sending over here. I just don't want to bog up my ender chest without having all of these items to filter first. So it should be already working, and it should start producing material. You can see right there, it just produced some glowstone from this biome, which is kind of interesting. We do, however, need to adjust the depth. So if we take a look at all the mod right here, it does tell me that it needs to be between the Y level 2 and Y level 20. So all we got to do is step this all the way down to somewhere in that range. So yeah, it takes a lot of clicking. We'll get there eventually. So under 20. So let's do like Y level 15. I think Y level 15 is pretty nice. It Should also be diamond level and everything like that. So it'll be producing more than just Allthemodium, of course. Now to speed this up, we are going to use the industrial foregoing upgrades. Yes, these things right here. And we should be able to just simply click them in. Pretty cool. So this will make it go faster. And I think this machine, yeah, it can accept certain upgrades. Having more than one of the upgrades isn't going to change anything. So yeah, that apparently goes in that slot. These can go in here. And this can go in here. But the speed, I believe, cannot go in there. So this will help the production. And then, of course, the way to speed this up even faster, technically, would to just be adding more of the drills. And that will, of course, increase our speed way faster. Look at that. It's generating the other emerald and all kinds of stuff. Redstone, rubies, things that we probably wouldn't get anywhere else. Looks like tin ore as well. And that's pretty darn cool. So we're just going to let this run for a little bit, and hopefully we get some Allthemodium out of this. And this will be just something nice to just have running while we work on other projects. And looky there, I spoke too soon, and right when I ended, an Allthemodium ore popped right into here. So it works, as you can see. Nice. So now with our ore generator up and running, well, I kind of now want to go to the end. And there's two different ways that I think you can get to the end. And one of them, well, we already have. And that's, well, you can use an Ars ritual to summon a portal. Or you can go ahead and make a cake. I believe there is an end cake that you can make right here. And you can eat this and it will teleport you to the end. But I think I might as well use the one that we generated. So this will be kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious how this is going to work. So we'll use the eyes that we already have. And we should be able to get ourselves situated here. Now, I do have a way of getting back home very easily just using one of our scrolls. But I do want to take some scrolls into this dimension as well. That way, whenever we go to visit some end islands, we can always teleport back. Now, I also might want to prepare myself just a little bit more, and I want to go ahead and upgrade my spell book. So we can go ahead and upgrade this to the next tier, and that's going to be a little bit nicer, giving us access to some more spells. Now, I'm just going to use my regular sword that I have, but the thing I want to adjust is the thing that you told me that I did wrong, and that is my dash. I completely amplified the wrong thing. I amplified my bounce instead of amplifying my dash, and completely ruined my entire setup. So yes, I need to instead set my bounce after my amplify. That was just a mistake. That was just an accident. Cause yeah, I was like, why am I not able to dash very high? Like, what is going on? There we go. Now we can dash insanely high, and it barely uses any mana, as you can see. And we're no longer extending our bounce duration. So yeah, that feels so much better. It's so much better. And we can even just fly basically through the sky now. Because by the time that we reach the level where we initially bounced, our mana has already regenerated. So pretty darn cool. Now I think for the dragon fight, we should be pretty well rounded, but there's a couple of things that I also want to do for this dragon fight that we're going to work on after we get the dragon at least killed the first time. Because we can actually put a dragon inside of a jar. So once I get this dragon fought, we can always teleport back here and we can set this up. So there's one of those invisible guys. So let's go ahead and fill this out. I do need to silk touch this real quick so we can take that spawner. Perfect. And let's go ahead and place our Eyes of Enderim. It should work just like any normal end portal. Of course, like I said, you can also make the cake. And there we go. So we have ourselves a portal. I have myself some scrolls ready to go. And this shouldn't take too long. Let's grab some ender pearls just in case, even though we're probably going to kill a few. And we have our captive dreams. And we should be off to the races. And especially now that we have all of our gear here. I think we're good. So let's go ahead and hop in. I have some snowballs to be able to take out the pillars. And we do have the ability to sort of fly around with the Rending-Gale. Or we can use our spell. So, without further ado, let's go to the end. This is our first time going to the end, by the way. So I'm pretty excited. Oh, that scared me. I thought we were just in a void. Okay, so it does appear that we are not in a void, but we do have what appears to be some sort of blindness. Am I seeing that correctly? It appears to be very dark here. And I was about to say, is there no dragon? Weird. I can't see the dragon. It's like super dark. Okay, anyways, all we have to do for this is just fly up like this, and we might be able to get this with a snowball. Oh boy, he is not happy with me going up there. But yeah, snowballs, I usually use these as a fun way of taking these out. If I could get it up here, it's easier if you're like falling right down on it and then you use it. Yeah, like that. Except, yeah, don't take damage. That's probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea at all. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. This is definitely a fun way of doing it. There we go. And then these can reach pretty far as well. They also have a, they fall. So that's another cool thing that you can do is you can kind of get into the corners of these areas over here. Oh, there's an inner chicken. Yeah, you can get into the corners with a snowball with this. If you're lucky, you can aim it just right. Look at that. We were able to destroy it with a snowball. I love using snowballs for this. So there we go. I think I have all of them knocked out now. It does appear to be. And so we should be able to take the dragon on now. And of course, just attack the head is one of the best ways to, of course, nab this guy. So avoid the dragon's breath if we can. Of course, that's not always possible. But you can always kind of go back here, if you're lucky, and attack. Not the best. The head is normally the best, but if the dragon's shooting the breath out, of course you're not going to be able to stand there. Not effectively anyways. Oh boy. Yeah. Try to get in here. It looks like we weren't taking a ton of damage. Oh my god, it goes real fast. Okay. Holy smokes. The dragon can creep up on you with damage, that is for sure. Yep, just take him out the good old-fashioned way. I think another good way to do this would be to go this way and then attack the dragon's head from inside here. That's the best way to do it, isn't it? Yeah. Because then you avoid all of the damage. Yeah. Yep. That's how you do it. No, while fighting this, the one thing I forgot was a data model. I should have made a data model from hostile neural networks because I still will need to kill the dragon 6 times in order to get that data model. We're actually going to need that for in-game. So I'll remember that next time I fight this. I'm going to have to fight him several times anyways. Not necessarily today, but hopefully we'll have some better gear next time we fight him. But yeah, we are going to have to fight this dragon a multitude of times, I think, in order to get that at least a 6 needed for the data model. And yes, it is required because we will need the in-game material. But this should be it for this dragon, hopefully. And yes, it is in the it for this dragon. All done. Perfect. Also, it's dropped this material. I don't really know what that is. But there we go. And all of our XP, as if we need more XP. All right, let's see where this this dragon egg goes. Perfect. I'll turn on my magnet. And then let's go ahead and get the dragon egg. Man, you would think the amount of times that I have fought the dragon that I would remember all of these things that I need to do. But yeah, things happen. So we can still come back here, but let's go ahead and head back and let's gather a few more materials before we head off into the in-cities, because I still want to capture a dragon with ours. That's right. We can actually gain infinite dragon's breath if we do this. Now, of course, it's time for the game to end. Yep, and we have beaten the game. It only took 20 episodes. No, I'm just kidding. I always love that. Anyways, I'm being a dork. All right, so all I need for the R setup is a source jar, and then we're going to need a ritual or a ritual brazier, and then we're going to need a containment ritual and a containment jar to be able to capture the dragon. Notice, by the way, we got dragon scales and all that stuff. Unfortunately, this isn't going to count towards our dragon kills, so I'm not even worried about building a data. Actually, no, we can just go ahead and make a data model. This is what you need, by the way, to make the data model. We would just right click this on the dragon. Now, for this, to capture this thing, like I said, we need the source jar, the ritual. We'll activate that once it lands, but we also need to summon the dragon. So we are going to need crystals to resummon our dragon, and we just need 4 of those. Okay, so I think that's good. We also can grab some bottles just so I can show this once we get the dragon captured. And I think we're ready to go back in there and resummon the dragon. Now, this is actually going to be the first time I'm using a containment jar, because the containment jars can house pretty much any mob and can be farmed by drigmies inside of that. So you can have like a ghast inside of here and it farming with the drigmies, and you don't have a ghast just in the world destroying things. Well, it's pretty darn cool that you can use containment jars for this. So let's go ahead and resummon the dragon. Of course, this is going to cause the portal to disappear, but we can get back without the portal, so I'm not super concerned about it. Go ahead and resummon this. And now the hard part. I have to wait for the dragon to land on this before we can actually do the ritual. So after quite a minute, for some reason, it's now landing. And so now I should be able to grab the model that I need. So I'm going to run up here, click it. Now I've grabbed the model, and then I'm going to go ahead and place down the source jar, the jar, and then the ritual, and then click it and activate it. And now the dragon should get put inside of a jar. It's adorable. Oh, I love it. And this is where this is cool, because now we can just right click this containment jar to get unlimited dragon's breath. And it should be automatable as well. Very automatable, because we just use a clicker with some bottles anytime we need it, and we can have unlimited dragon's breath. And that goes for the generators that use this. There's a generator that can produce 25 million RF per tick with the halitosis setup. This is just one of the things that it needs to get that 25 million. But there we go. We have it set up. And we have a little dragon inside of a containment jar. Now, there's a couple of mobs, by the way, that can be put inside of a containment jar that does some very interesting things. Frogs will eat nearby slimes when they're in them. The baby pandas will occasionally sneeze, creating slime balls. The cows, there's all kinds of stuff. You can even do pufferfish that can give poison to mobs. And then, of course, chickens will still lay eggs, and cows can still be milked inside the jars. And then sheep can still be sheared inside of a jar. It says it will eat grass beneath the jar if available. So pretty darn cool. There's a lot of little effects that you can do with Ars Nouveau. This is why this mod is slowly but surely becoming one of my favorite mods of all time. I absolutely love it. Now that we've got this done, and we also have our dragon model, of course, we still haven't killed this dragon, so I need to go ahead and do that. And well, actually, no, it just respawned a new dragon. What? I didn't realize it just respawned a new dragon after us consuming that dragon. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to be a nice free data model kill, though. By the way, another little quick tip. If you didn't know this, you can go ahead and mine some instone in here if you've ever, like, don't have arrows or whatever. And you can just place a block, one block underneath this, and then punch, and it does, like, no damage. So, yeah. I think you can even go 2 blocks just to be a little safer. So if we go 2 blocks down, right, we can just jump, I think. Or, no, you can just barely see it enough to punch it, right? No, you can just jump. Yeah, and that does, like, 0 damage to you. So it's pretty awesome. Oh, I almost forgot. I think for the data model, for me to be able to actually use it functionally, I do need to head back to the base. Hopefully the dragon can't go through this portal. I need to head back to the base because I need to actually make the, let's see, data hostile neural networks, I think is what it is. I'm going to need the deep learner. So this is going to make it so that way I can actually, learn after I have killed a mob. So we need to put this data model in here. And then I usually like to keep it in my offhand so I can use my main hand. And as you can see in the top left, oh, it says 2 remaining. That's interesting. 2 remaining. So do we only have to kill... We only have to kill it twice. So two more. I wonder how many it has counted that we have killed. It is very interesting. So yeah, who would have thunk it? Look at this. Bam. Now we have another dragon kill on us, and it says right here, so apparently we only needed 2 dragon kills. That's pretty cool. It says 1 more remaining. So yeah, that makes that a lot easier. So much easier. So I ran back home just so we could teleport back through the portal again. We have a little bit of creative flight. We will be getting creative flight very soon, but now I can go ahead and just ender pearl, boop, right through here. And we now spawn with some chorus fruit. Oh, that reminds me, I do want to head back because there is something special that we can do with these guys. You know, I went all the way back home thinking I was going to be making this rod of Eliza, but yeah, it's not there. Reliquary rod, and the rod of Eliza is not in here. That would have allowed me to pull items off of the apotheosis bosses, but I assume that's probably the reason why it's not in here, because that's more powerful than anything else. I'm kind of confused by that one, but it is a pretty interesting item, but it has been removed for whatever reason, unless it's just not in this version. I have no idea. Anyways, let's go back to the end cities and see if we can't find stuff. Now, the Elytra, by the way, we don't absolutely need ourselves an Elytra from this method. We can actually get an Elytra just from using UU matter to craft it. But of course, this is a nice way to get it. And I also want to check out the loot and grab myself some shulker shells and of course some chorus fruit and some chorus flowers, which I think will be very, very useful. So I'm going to boop that, and there we go. So now we have the ability to reproduce chorus fruit, no problem. I do need to stay away from those guys though. And let's see if we can't fly through here and find ourselves an end city. Here we go. This is our first little end city, but I mean, this isn't the major one, but is there anything in here? I don't think these even have loot in them. I could be mistaken. No, these don't even have loot in them, I don't think. What a ripoff. What a scam. We should call those scam cities. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Aha. This one's a little bit better. However, I don't know what's going on with this. I've never seen this happen before. What is going on here? This is a half of a what? Half of a boat. Let me do no, I reloaded the chunks. It's just half a boat. Okay. Well, at least there's loot in this. Like, this one should have like loot in it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so our loot seems to be like destructive diamond shovel. And if we loot it, a bunch of pneumatic craft related items. Very cool. So yeah, this seems like an interesting way of farming up these swords from apotheosis. Pretty darn cool. We got a little bit of diamond as well. Maybe I can actually find ourselves the Elytra chests along our way, and not one that's messed up like that. That's weird. We couldn't even get a dragon head from that one. Oh, finally. And this is a major end island. Okay, this is our end city. This is pretty nice looking. Okay, let's go ahead and see what loot we got in here. It does seem like it's the same loot that we're really finding in the overworld. Just of course more likely to find diamonds and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. Now these are interesting. This is a thermal loot, and these are like thermal modifiers. So these are kind of nice as well. So definitely I'm not going to knock these, as they seem to be pretty interesting as far as the modifiers that they do. And then we just found a tablet of vexing. So yeah, lots of these like thermal, even though these look like pneumatic craft, these are from thermal, apparently. So it's kind of reminds me of like the Ender.io loot capacitors. So there we go. And now we have ourselves an Elytra. And now it is time for us to go kill ourselves a wither. Yeah, well, after we collect this thing, because I am going to need this as well. So we'll go ahead and make sure we have this set to a 1x1 so I don't mess up and break the whole thing. Oh, wait. There it goes. I was like, why couldn't I mine that? Perfect. Well, now I think with this one, the wither's going to have to wait till next episode, and we should be able to get ourselves some creative flight next episode after defeating the wither for the first few times. I think even setting up automation for the wither would be fantastic, and maybe diving into some hostile neural networks. But of course, guys, that'll have to wait till next episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you're a supporter of any tier, be sure to get that world download if you want to explore this world, or maybe start with this progression already done, and I don't know, to follow along if that's something you're interested in. All you have to do is be a supporter of any tier, no matter what platform that is available, all linked down in the description below. But of course, the best place to support is via Discord, becoming a Discord premium member. And of course, that is also where the world download resides, and all of your stuff gets linked up in there. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And well, it is now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's video. And that huge thanks is going to go out to Catathulu. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in literally one of the best ways possible. Of course, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, guys, comment down below. What did you think of the dragon in the jar thing? I don't know. I really love that. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Bye.